So it's really fascinating. I know the folks from our crowd pretty well in Israel. So I've been to a couple of their conferences in Jerusalem. So I think it's a fascinating way to think about changing how businesses get funded from the standpoint of who is able to participate in the growth and not only get the relationship but also build value for the companies by increasing the pool of people who care about them.
Well, I think as long as SMEs, to my own point of view, I think they have trouble getting lending from like traditional banking and stuff. I think the technologies that help them to get money, to get invested, to expand their businesses, I think that's a very one of the great ideas.
We'll take a very carefully look at the returns and the risk, and as well as the regulation in the sector which we are going to invest.
About the company's finances and how are they able to sustain their funding throughout the whole phase of their career of the whole company, and whether they can actually last long enough to make a sustainable investment for long term.
Yeah, so for myself, it will be looking into the cash flow. So I want to know whether ultimately is the company profitable or not, because that is one of the key concerns when you look at the longevity of how a company is going to be there existing.
My main concern is obviously security of where my payment's going, who the supplier is, who I'm actually investing into. Also, the return is always important. I'm investing for a clear reason. So I always make sure that what I'm investing in will return better than what my average bank account will return. Otherwise, there's no point investing in a higher risk solution. The third for me, also on a personal level, is who I'm investing. So where is that money making the money from? So I feel like we need to be morally and socially responsible in this world because you can make money from almost anything, some good, some bad. So it's important for me where that money is being made from because I guess it's not a good feeling if you know you're making money off something you don't believe in.
Firstly, I believe crowdfunding is something that is relatively new. So many investors are quite wary about it in terms of the due diligence process. So it is very important for a crowdfunding platform to have a very thorough due diligence process on the deal flows that they actually manage. And this would give confidence to investors to be willing to put in their money.
I'm a big fan of equity crowdfunding. Personally, I've put money into some of those online equity crowdfunding sites. What I love about them, I feel like it's encouraging people with good ideas who generally may feel burdened of applying through a formal loan or investment, have a good idea with a nice video, can quickly raise some funds. Not a lot of funds comparatively, but that also probably forces them to be a little bit more wise about how they spend their money. But what I've seen on those sites is some fantastic ideas. I personally have invested in a few crazy ideas. The fact that people are still out there being encouraged to come up with new ideas is fantastic. So I think we need more crowdfunding in the sense that hopefully it'll become more accessible for those who are less able to access that kind of money. It shouldn't be just left to the big boys who have all the pretty pictures, PowerPoint presentations and management consultants, all that. We should get rid of that because someone in the back streets of Indonesia could have an amazing idea and him and he, or her with her friends could create a new company and bang, straight onto one of these funding sites, and that could be the next big grab in the region.
Personally, I feel that first and foremost, equity crowdfunding gives you a very high yield. And secondly, actually, I feel that you can actually choose on the projects that based on your interests. So it gives you like a stakehold in what kind of projects that you want to invest in. And I think one thing is very important is for us to diversify our portfolio. And I think the best solution to this is to do equity crowdfunding.
Thai SEC, we accommodate crowdfunding. There are already approved or licensed to crowdfunding for the equity, and there are some more in consideration or in pipeline. That's what I said, that we try to allow the platform within the digital world like this, to have all the small entrepreneur can easily raise fund, and also the investor can easily to meet potential companies like that. I think what we are working together with the Stock Exchange of Thailand and also the association related to the capital market, we're talking about try to provide more choices, try to encourage more entrepreneur to have understanding, and also to see capital market is another choice for their fundraising like that. And with this, and then we keep talking together amongst related party that for the primary market for sure, we are working on regulation to ensure small medium enterprise can raise their fund.
SINWATTANA works very closely with Kasikorn Bank. They are our appointed escrow agent as well as our registrar. Being our registrar, their responsibility is to issue share certificates to investors defining how much they have invested in the project. On success of every deal, issuer is obligated to stay on the crowdfunding platform for 3 years. In that 3 years, issuers have to provide a quarterly report stating their business progress and their financial report to investors to build up the investors' confidence. As interested investors, they have actually came forward to ask us how do they liquidate their investment on the equity crowdfunding platform. And very importantly, we think deeply about it and decided to work with Stock Exchange Thailand to look into this secondary market. Stock Exchange Thailand offers the OTC market, and we are currently working with them, testing it, validating it to see how we can actually serve the investors in this conversation. And we look forward to launch this project or launch this secondary market soon to all the investors.